Take two. Sorry about that, guys. We were caught off guard there with a little technical hitch, but we're back.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Michael. How are we, boys?
Great. How was your weekend?
Weekend was nice, chilled, quiet with the family.
Love it.
Watched a little golf yesterday. Didn't watch any. Well, I watched a little bit Friday, but yesterday I watched the matches. I was hoping Corey Connors was going to get to the final. I thought he had him on that back nine. He made a couple of really good saves around the turn, and then he got his kind of nose in front, and then Kessler's just a grinder, isn't he?
He's a good player.
It was a bad second shot on the par 3, like trying to get it close, and then the 3-putt. I think that did him in. A lot of players had a tough time with that hole, though. I think, I don't know, a little like just enough breeze to kind of mess with players, I guess. But oh well,
just enough. What are you laughing at? Taps off in Glasgow. That's good. Is this a Q&A, Justin B? If this is your first time, yes, this is a Q&A, Justin.
Ask us a Q, and we will give you an A.
Aye.
Good evening from the north.
Let some others join in. Boys, what was the weekend activity for you boys? Anything golf related?
No, nothing golf related. Went to a little Canada-Jamaica game.
I was going to say, you were celebrating Canada getting to the World Cup for the first time in 36 years.
Went with a couple boys from high school, and we're screaming the national anthem. It was good. It was a good time.
And cold.
It was so cold.
Not that we need to continue to harp on that.
We don't need to. We'll leave that well alone. Let's see what else is going on in the questions here as people join. Will we give a little kind of quick early kind of insight into the videos this week? What's coming? Can you let people know?
Sure. Yeah. So we just tested the Tiger Woods wedges. So last week we did the Bridgestone golf balls. You guys seem to like that. We had a lot of fun doing that. It's a pretty unique product because it's the way it spins. So we decided to use the same golf balls and test them with the TaylorMade T-Dub wedges as well. So not quite Masters conditions, but we played them under some U.S. Open conditions. So we saw some interesting shots out there at the 18th hole at Pebble Beach. So we'll probably see that one later this week. And then a little bit of new versus old. We've got some shaft testing for your driver. I know we've been teasing it for a while, but we're actually going to get into it today.
Definitely. I've brought the shafts. I've got 6 different shafts to test.
And then, so speaking of 6, and we also have, I think, just to the side of the desk there, we have a few blades. So we're gonna do a little bit of comparison as well. You know, you tested the game improvement stuff the player's cavity a little while ago. Did really well, and kind of showed off the characteristics of that category. And the reason we kind of thought about this was you had a fit this weekend with someone had blades, and people say a blade is a blade. Really, they're not.
They're not. They're absolutely not. And we'll touch on it in the video. I don't want to kind of do a little spoiler right here, but it was very interesting. There was one of the blades that we had tested that was entirely different from the rest. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't believe it that there was even that much of a difference. The customer certainly couldn't believe it. He was shocked. He came in basically looking to retrofit his own with an open mind. If something was better, he would embrace it. Honestly, it was night and day different.
Crazy.
So very, very impressed with one of them, and I'll talk about it more in the video.
So let's start with a question here about the Bettinardi wedges. What do you guys think of them? You guys hit them before?
Yeah, I have a set. They're nice.
Yeah.
They're nice. Very small, compact head. But yeah, they feel and look great.
They absolutely loved them when we tested them last year on the channel. I thought they were fantastic, as you say, very small, but no, they're definitely perform well.
And I think it's cool because they do you just talked about the Tiger Woods ones. They have a mill grind sole or a milled sole. Mill grind is TaylorMade's brand name, but they have a milled sole. They spin a lot, and if you like a more of a classic style wedge, again to your point, being compact, a little bit more round, I think Bettinardi, obviously very well known for putters, but they want to think of themselves as like a rounded short game company. So I think they do a really good job with those.
Absolutely. Our friend Mr. Yeaman's asking, can we get a close-up of wee Mikey when discussing Tiger's appearance at Augusta? Which let's put this one out there. Which emoji would best describe Mikey when talking about Tiger's appearance at Augusta?
On your phone, type in water, and it's that first emoji.
Eggplant and water.
Eggplant and water.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. Actually, the last night or 2 nights ago, I watched the Masters video that they put together, that him and I starred.
I was gonna say, is that because you just wanted to see yourself on TV?
And it's so good. There's no Masters compares.
Rob, you got it. This is something that we spoke about a little bit this morning that TJ is asking here, and I think this needs to become a bit more of a kind of regular thing, a bit more a regular series, is that we do head-to-heads on popular irons, right? And I'd love to kind of get some takes from you guys on what speed, because we can recreate your speeds. I'm pretty neutral. RB, you hit it pretty high. Mikey is on the stronger side. You're shallow, your angle of attack, but you do kind of reduce loft quite nicely. We will be talking about that in a how to compress your golf ball, better video that's coming up. But I would like to do a little bit of this type of head-to-head testing. Wow. Good evening from Denmark. Main course opening tomorrow.
Jeez. Well, to be fair, some courses are open this week up here, April 1st.
How's Denmark open before us? Really love
Bring on the global warming. I'm ready for it.
Absolutely.
What's a little flood going to do? It's going to be
Ice Park
warmer.
anyway.
There was the course was open 2 weeks ago towards London.
Did
But
they?
it's a little sandier that way. But I mean, I don't know what the course was like, but it was open. I saw some people playing, but I don't know. I don't want to go when it's that cold.
2 words for you boys. Road trip.
Yeah.
Road
To Florida.
trip. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
heard the weather in Pinehurst is really nice this time of year.
Yeah, if only we knew something. Oh, Brian, our good friend. Hey guys, why are the most desirable irons forged, but the most desirable wedges are cast? Any thoughts, boys?
I think forged versus cast is more of a perception thing right now than it is like a true
the
materials
quality's good.
advantage thing. There's no real performance benefit to a forged versus a cast golf club, and Ping has proven it. One of a really good feeling iron, really popular iron, well-rounded iron, I-210, extremely popular. And then you have clubs that are forged that don't have a lot of technology. They still feel good. You can have a forged golf club that still feels like crap. Like in reality, like it's about geometry. It's about the materials that are used. It's not so much about the process. I think that's the thing that people don't really know. They just attach the cast versus forged to it, but it doesn't really have anything to do with that.
I was just going to say, that's a good one. Jeez. Great minds think alike.
Our old pal Joe Lane. Pick one, boys. Mizuno 225 versus P790.
225.
790.
We'll leave it at a tie. I got a sore bumming us.
Won't be a tiebreaker.
What would different golfers? What golf are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like I think if someone's looking for out and out distance, as a little across, it adds a lot of dynamic loft. I'm going P790.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the ability to have them evolve a little bit, softer feel, maybe a bit more of a refined iron, I'm going 225. It depends on the player. So it's a tough one to really pick a favourite. Two beauties. And to be honest, I would be pulling them out in the same fit and just seeing what fits the player the best.
I say P790 because I got called out a couple weeks ago. Someone said I hate TaylorMade.
That you hate TaylorMade?
Apparently.
You do not hate TaylorMade. Far from it. You use TaylorMade woods.
Woods, yeah.
Have you used TaylorMade irons? You used to play a lot of TaylorMade stuff.
Yeah, way back.
When you were young.
Yeah.
Last week. What else we got, boys?
What do you think of the F1 race, Mike?
2 and 3, baby. That's all that matters. 2 and 3.
Yeah, keep those the manufacturer points,
Yeah.
the constructors championship points coming.
Yep. That's a good 2 weeks for the ponies, that's for sure.
Steven's asking if coming in for a fit and have access to launch monitor, what numbers are best to bring for the TXG fitters to help with the session? Yeah, I mean, certainly bring in some of your regular delivery numbers. Anything to do with your path, face, strike point, speed. If you want to do even a little gapping session to show us how far the irons, if you've got any gaps in there, any of that stuff is helpful. Send it in advance, and we will preview it when we do the pre-fit questionnaire overviews. But it's nice to paint a picture of who you are as a player before you come in. That way we can just get right into it. We're not doing as much of a discovery process as we do in the first sort of 10-15 minutes of the fit. So yeah, just bring in as much information really as you can.
Another one that we do, I know I feel like we harp on it a lot, but it's because the data is so useful and so helpful, is if you use Arcos or if you have some type of game tracking system, that information to a fitter is extremely useful when it comes to looking at your bag, having a conversation about your clubs, and looking at gapping even before you get into a fit. So I know we do touch on it a lot because it is so useful, but it's something that you can definitely send to your fitter.
Absolutely. JJ, do you think 165 ball speed is okay with Smoke Blue TX I just ordered? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's obviously a lot more goes into it than just what your ball speed is, but if you're 165 ball speed, I don't think there's an issue playing a TX. Is that what you ordered in your Hazardous Blue, the Blue RDX?
Yeah, I asked for it at 60X.
Yeah. They only do it's a TX they do, isn't there? 6.5 is a TX, isn't it?
I guess so.
I think it is.
We'll see what shows up.
Yeah, see what you get. This is a good one. Steph is going to St Andrews in May. Any tips? We don't obviously have a lot of courses down this or around here that are kind of link style, but is it Tarandawa down in London?
Yep.
That's as close to links as really there is in this area.
It's a true inland links golf course. So
could you play some kind of? Does the terrain work where you can run it into holes and stuff like that? Well, let's try and get down there for that.
Because I played it. I want to say last year, 2 years ago. I played it a couple times. I played it in I felt like 50-kilometer-an-hour winds. There was a 100, kind of like we did the Island Green video a couple weeks ago. We played a par 3, it was 185 yards. I think they had a 5-wood. Just went 180 feet in the air and just went.
Apparently the elements weren't realistic enough.
No, we didn't have gusts yet. We gotta set the gusts.
Yeah,
we gotta set the gusts.
Yeah, you need a little gust in your life.
Any tips for St Andrews?
So
jigger in for sure.
What else? You've got to play the Himalayas.
Yeah.
Play the Himalayas putting course.
Octolonis for sure. Get a couple little
Go
swags.
say hi to Bobby and Adam.
Yeah. Just walk around the whole town and he's the best.
Yeah.
Dinner at Forgan's. It's good.
That's some pro tips.
Jigger
right
in.
there.
Take a caddy. Don't be cheap. Take a caddy. Trust me.
Yeah, get the full experience. I think that's a good tip. Whenever you go somewhere, don't cheap out on the experience, because it is different when you're walking it. You can soak it all in, let your caddy go to your ball, and you can go and see the hell bunker and the coffins and all that.
That your caddy will even
got your someone to take a picture.
Yeah, your caddy will take your
On the
photo
bridge.
for you, and Solkin Bridge photo. Put your foot on the ledge.
I know, that's it.
It's the best.
I remember one time I done that with my good pal. Went to the St Andrews and we got a picture together on the bridge. Didn't we, old pal? We were there for the Scottish Tourism Week. It was a good week. All right, what else we got? That's a good one by Michael. Have you ever blended shaft flex in an iron set? You boys, you're probably best to talk to this because you fit them, build them. Moved to Morris Pro 120S. I love it in 6 to wedge, but 5 and 4 are a little loose for Michael.
Loose in the longer irons?
I currently use a blended iron set, Michael. I use MMT 105 X in my 4 iron for a little bit more speed. I do it because I play my 4 iron 1/4 inch longer, so I wanted to offset the weight a little bit. But could someone do that?
Yeah, I'm not.
RB is somebody who plays it at a set of AMTs. You'd be in favour of a blend. I mean, technically a blended set because balance point, obviously mass.
The big thing would be if you're there has to be a reason for it, right?
Definitely.
Like anything when it comes to fitting or whatever. So you have to look at much like some players will play a softer wedge flex because of their tempo in those shorter irons or into their wedges. The biggest thing would be, from a weight perspective, matching flex, like making sure that it works for that player. Because a good example would be like, if you're using like anything that's parallel, for example, you could go lighter but then hard steps. So the steps might not actually match up particularly well. Like you'll see like a bit of a kind of wobble towards the top of the set, but they're actually a little bit softer, a little bit lighter. And much to your point, you've created basically a set of AMTs.
Exactly.
So it is possible, but the hard thing is trying to be able to compare and understand how it works for changing your lie angles if there's extra deflection in the softer shaft. So there's a lot to get done there, but you could definitely make it work for sure.
Definitely. Mick is asking, can lie angle influence delivery? He's 6'3", playing standard Mizunos, flatter than most, and have developed really low hands at impact. Yeah, absolutely. Mick, anything ultimately that directs your golf ball offline will affect your delivery, in a sense of your subconscious will try to make that not happen. So you will start to build in compensations. I think that's a good video actually. How a misfit set of clubs can adversely affect your golf swing over time if you let that bleed in. I think people would like to see what are some of the things that do that.
I mean, I've seen it with drivers, like players that have, and I've seen it in fits where like players who are visual and they want, everyone says, well, we hear a lot of like a high toe driver or a driver that has like more of a face open. If a player has a closed face driver, they might miss to the right more because they feel like they have to hold the face open. If a driver's really, really open, a player could actually miss to the left because they don't want to see it open and they are subconsciously trying more effectively to close the club face. So that's where it is like finding the balance of like what actually fits your eye and what fits your swing. Because if you got flatter golf clubs and you feel like you need to put your hands lower, not going to be a good combo if it's not working for you.
Definitely. Serious question. How far do you think Will Smith could slap a golf ball?
Real far.
Probably pretty good distance. He trained for Ali for a while.
Yeah, he's a big lad.
He's a big lad.
What would you think Chris Rock was thinking when he was walking towards him?
Is he going to give you a hug?
I thought maybe, they were going to hug it out.
Yeah, that was something else.
I saw the social media reaction, then I saw what happened, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Crazy. The good old Oscars. I like the Oscars.
Do you?
I was up for an Oscar.
Did we ever tell you about the time Mike was in a movie?
Mike is in a movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike was actually a budding Canadian super talent at one point. You were in Oliver Twist at one point.
Yeah.
He was actually going to be in
governor.
Broadway. Then you were in Cheaper by the Dozen 2.
Yeah.
Cheaper by the Dozen 2. I mean, he actually is a world class actor in his own right.
You got your acting union card? You still in the union, Mike?
Part of actor. Yep. I've retired from acting.
We do have TXG merch. We have hats and towels in the TXGstore.com.
Bag tags. If you like a nice bag tag.
Ball markers.
Very
bag tags.
luxurious looking bag tag.
Yeah.
Buy one, buy a second one for the same price. Buy 2, buy 3, buy 6, buy 12. Please.
Any advice for a newly certified club fitter, Michael? What would you advise, Mike?
For a newly certified.
Yeah, newbie.
Get in the bay. Work it out.
Reps.
Reps. Ask your buddies to come in. Ask family members to come in. Righties, lefties. Juniors, ladies, senior players. Just fit it all. Don't just fit guys that are really good players. Those are rare to come by. So
Laws of exposure.
yeah,
Definitely.
welcome to the club fitting world.
Do you ever find that your drinks get too hot too quickly or get too cold too quickly? Go to TXGstore.com. You can get yourself a TXG
RB
tumbler.
with a hard sell.
Come on. And if your clubs, we got the Groover Brush.
There you go. If they're dirty.
See? We got it. It's there. It's
Do
in
you
the
use the
store.
Groove Brush?
Love a groove brush.
Do you use the Groove Brush? I do.
I actually don't have a Groover
You don't
Brush.
have one?
I don't have one.
Our gift to
My
you.
gift to you. Thanks for all your hard work.
I think they're amazing. I've used mine for the longest time. What, 2.5 years?
Yeah, I've used mine for about 3
When
and
was
then
the
got him using it.
When? So you did. Honestly, there's a story to tell in that one day.
Next.
Jesus. All right, let's see.
Chili Moose.
Chili Moose. What? Where'd you see that?
No, that's the name of the cup.
Oh, that's it. I'm like, where'd you see that?
Thoughts on Scotty getting to number 1? 3 wins in like 3 months or something.
I mean,
3
it's-
wins and 5 starts.
5 starts, yeah, geez.
He should be number one. I mean, right now he's arguably the best player on tour. I don't think John Rahm was
he
number
got-
one material for the last couple months.
No, I agree with that.
He's got more wins than Tony Finau in 3 months. Not to pick on Tony. Tony's made a lot of money. So, yeah.
Thank you for the super sticker. I don't quite get the.
Thank you for the hippo character runs at high speed. It's like forming like a ball-like blur. Nice.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Who are your favorite celebrity golfers? Who are our favorite celebrities?
We were just talking about Bill Murray.
Oh, Jesus.
Does Steph Curry count?
Celebrity. Yeah, Steph.
Does Steph Curry count? Like
MJ? MJ's. I'm a huge MJ fan.
I played in a pro-am with Michael Strahan. He was a good time.
He's a good dude.
Good laugh.
He's a good dude.
That was a
for
long
sure.
time ago, but a good laugh.
That's fun. Right now, I like watching. He does a lot of the stuff with Callaway. He does the range talk. Is Roger Steele on Instagram?
Right.
He's funny. He does a lot of like indoor stuff, outdoor stuff. I just think he's a good like personality. I mean, even just following on Instagram, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of the right now, I'm a huge boxing fan. A lot of the boxers are into
Canelo into
golf. Canelo's massive into golf, but even in the British scene, guys like Bellew and a bunch of the London-based boys are all into it right now. I know Mizuno were doing some fittings with some of them down at Bearwood Lakes.
What about Lando Norris? Lando Norris, big golfer.
All of them play.
Him and Science, yeah.
Ian Fraser, celebrity golfer.
Celebrity golfer. I'm not even a celebrity.
What did you-
in my own
okay,
household.
You're a celebrity.
Now,
What?
this came up last week because he mentioned it on the podcast. So Rick Shields on the whole golf day thing. Did you want to go? We got to figure that out.
100%.
We're in.
You gonna win?
Who says we're
Probably
in?
not, but I certainly would like to
You'll
take
win.
part.
You'll win. You
Is
don't
there
go just
money
to
in the
have
line?
fun. You go to win.
Exactly.
Second is the first loser.
Correct, Michael. I love
But-
that.
this is Ricky
Pretty sure
Bob-
Tiger
Rick-
said that. No,
Ricky Bobby?
I've never
If
seen.
you're not
that
first, you're
movie.
last.
RV, half the movies you've seen,
It's
I've
like
never seen.
It's like one of Will Ferrell's like biggest movies. Talladega Nights.
You know what I said
Shake
about?
and bake,
You know what I
baby.
said about Bill Murray? Exact same of Will Ferrell.
Yeehaw. He's a donkey. Oh, we got thumbs down for not liking Bill Murray.
Oh, no.
Too bad.
Oh well. Thanks for your thumbs down. Have a wonderful day. Smile today.
Tony Romo.
I don't like. You know what?
You don't like Romo?
No, you know what? Great commentator. Like, gives good insight to like football from what I understand. I'm not like a big football guy, but like the whole in and out of like events all the time.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Taking up like not that he's taking up spots and sponsor exemptions, none of that kind of thing. But like the in and out, all that stuff, I always kind of find very annoying to follow.
We're Connor.
What do these mean?
I don't know, but I have no idea. Honestly, I'm useless with technology. So yeah, so it shows up. So Connor's just. Oh, so that's what the first one was. Okay, good. So we were reading it like hippo running with.
Oh, I
legs.
thought they typed that. What's that one say?
That one says.
It's like a video game controller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Video game controller
Unhappily-
hobbles along unhappily with a broken arm.
Alice Cooper. I know our friend Al. He played golf with Alice
You
Cooper.
did. That's right.
And then I think Alice said he has a John Rahm move, and Al said it was the greatest thing anyone ever said to him.
That's funny.
Peyton Manning. I mean, Eli would be better, the better Manning, but whatever.
Thoughts on the Oban Devotion hybrid shaft? Actually, was a good hybrid shaft back in the day. Yemen.
Thumbs down from Caldwell. Loves a bit of Caddyshack.
No, it's so true.
The gopher.
What was it he said about Yemen? He said.
Good shot, Scott Yeaman, wherever the hell your name is.
That was so good.
Someone did ask, do you have to change grips after a line goal adjustment? No, I don't know the reason for the question, but no, you don't have to change anything. It's all bent at the hosel. So I know it's like really, really basic stuff, but like where that is bent, like club head, hosel, where the shaft goes in, I know I'm not trying to like over or under explain it, but I'm just trying to, whatever the level of your level of understanding is. So that is the part that gets bent, so it has nothing to do with the shaft. So there's no need to change any other part of the golf club. It just goes into a vise, crank it one way or the other, and then you're all set.
mean, there's some things you'll accept in life, and you're
careful what you go with this. Careful.
You like a joke as much as the next guy, but I mean that's a low blow.
You don't bring my mother into this.
Christine does not come into this, Whisker. You and I will be stepping outside
Yeah.
for a wee roll around the cobbles, as we would say.
Do not bring my mother into this.
Christine is by far, I've said this many times, by far the best Marta Savage. And it's not even close. Beef Wellington, off the charts. Lasagna.
It was grade 6
How did you just say that?
Lasagna. That's how he says it.
What do you say?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
I know.
Lasagna.
He pronounces every letter in the word.
Oh, yeah, okay, Toronto.
This live is something today.
But this is what it's like.
5 alive.
This is what
This
it's
is what
like.
we sound like.
This
Yeah.
is it. Just give each other a hard time.
Oh yeah, Rob Coates sent me a text over the weekend. There's a Twitter account called Muni Mike.
No way.
Yeah. And it was built like in 2022. I can assure you it's not me.
Do you have a burner account, Mike?
No.
No. I get ratioed enough on my own account. Why would I mess
I have
it
a
up?
burner LinkedIn account when I want to look at the new people we're hiring.
Rob Coates said he found Mike's burner Twitter account over the weekend. That's awesome. Don't get slapped. I don't know what that means.
Rob Coates lies.
What? Someone who struggles in a fitting bay versus outside with their golf swing. What are your tip to
One
them?
of my good customers struggles in a bay.
Who's that? Presh?
Presh. And I tell him, man up. Just hit the ball. What's the difference?
Is it because he thinks he's going to hit the ceiling or something?
Hi, very good.
Not Presh, no.
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 It's like, I had like a great customer, different guy, and he was fit in bay 1, or he was getting his lessons in bay 1, and he came in bay 2, and he's like, is this bay the same depth? I was like, just hit the ball, pal. It's the same depth. Trust me. Just let's make contact first. That's all that matters.
We had a customer come in and said that he thinks the golf balls we were using were wooden. He said, these golf balls they feel wooden.
Or the floor was moving under him.
Yeah.
I said, buddy, this thing's ram-shotted to the concrete. It ain't moving anywhere.
When the mat comes a rocking,
Yeah.
don't come a knocking. There's some good ones, isn't there? There are some good ones. Christian's asking, do you find sometimes older irons being better fit for some golfers? P760s beat out Strixons for Christian. Yeah, I mean I think that's the whole thing. Like I'm currently looking for a set that has all the attributes of a set, like a set of P760s. Mm-hmm. We'll just get a set of P760s. That's you know, the only difficulty is trying to get a full set. That's the hard bit. You know, there's some people on eBay. I ended up getting a bot 5 to wedge from Golf Avenue, and brand new in the wrapper. And then I've got some good leads on a 3 and a 4. But you know, I don't trust half of these eBay accounts.
Yeah.
You just read some of the comments, and you know, people are just like, yeah, you know, these are definitely counterfeit, or you know, I just don't trust them.
Trust issues.
I think when it comes to irons, irons are like unlike a driver, which is designed to be as far as possible, and technology can offer a huge improvement depending on center of gravity and all these different things. An iron set is designed to be extremely consistent from club to club and offer consistent distance gapping. And if it fits your golf swing, unless you've worn the grooves out, like literally worn the grooves out, you're not going to see a massive performance advantage if you're already maxed out with a set of irons. Maybe you'll hit a club further if you go to something with a little bit more technology or hit it higher, but then you're actually changing the characteristics of your ball flight. Like we talked about with the Tiger Woods wedges, he's basically played the same irons for 25 years. Mm-hmm. The reason is he knows what he's going to see. You've got Maverick Neely still playing a set of Nike blades out on tour, or the last one thing of Nike golf clubs out there. If you have something you like, you can stick with it. But if you're not seeing a performance advantage, that's where you're going to start to see something in potentially a newer golf club.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
I mean, I got 25-year-old irons that I like to go play with. So
you're a hipster, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday
you're a golf hipster.
You are such a hipster.
That's it, a hipster.
When should someone go from regular to stiff flex, boys? I mean, there's a speed element, isn't there?
Speed element.
So there's a speed element. There's a control element. There's a sort of consistency. We talk about, having the right gapping with irons and things like that. So, if you find that you're a little bit on the inconsistent side, I mean, from a speed perspective, I think regular to stiff happens at probably around we've got 82 miles an hour to 84 miles an hour with a 6-iron in the bay. I think we start thinking about from going from regular into stiff around that sort of time. So, but I have seen myself put somebody 83, 84 into regulars, and I have seen myself put someone in stiffs at the exact same speed, depending on their delivery, the deflection, the shaft profile itself. Take a shaft like a 230 gram shaft. So, take a Modus 130 with a very soft tip, stiffest butt section in the industry, and then you take a Project XLS, extremely stiff. You're going to get different amounts of downward deflection from those. So there's different thought processes behind going with different shaft flexes and profiles, but really it's all about the delivery for the player.
The Zuno 223 long as other irons in players' distant category. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think 223.
They're pretty toasty, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're definitely good on distance.
I think that 223 almost reminds me a bit of P760. I love P760. Bring it back. Then you won't need to find your 3 and 4. Just bring it back.
I know.
Will TaylorMade make a Sim 3 if the stealth launch is a flop? Well, let me tell you, folks, there's no Sim 3 coming if that's the answer to the question. Let's see.
If stealth is a flop, then
Certainly isn't.
No.
Oh,
it's funny because one of the lads I used to play golf with back in Scotland messaged me and said they're having a bunch of stealths kind of traded back in. Said they're doing really well with Callaway and Cobra, but they've had a bunch of stealths traded back in. I said, we've not seen that.
I'll tell you one thing. I fitted a good customer of both of ours on Saturday into, he wanted a Rogue so badly.
Who's
and Yaz.
Oh, yeah.
And he left with TaylorMade, and it was
Unreal for him.
him.
Yeah, and he came out of an Epic, Callaway Epic.
Yeah, and he had a sim. He had 2 drivers in the bag.
You know the old story when the TaylorMade originally launched? Well, you would know more familiar with this, but like the original white driver, they had a conditional plan to go back to black if it didn't do well, and well, it did very well. So they never really had to.
No, for sure. Yeah, that was
the rumor.
That was record sales that year.
When did the white one come out? That was like 910's
R11.
time, right? Their commercials like one of these things is not like the other thing.
It was the R11, and they closed down. Remember they closed down Times Square.
Yeah.
And like launched balls like Sergio and I think DJ like launched balls into like this net in Times Square. Everything was white. They had all white outfits on. It was just one heck of a very expensive media launch.
They should shut down Times Square for good.
For good. Especially at 11 o'clock when you're trying to get sleep. You're right outside it.
You guys see the Palm Springs Crew edition of the Cobra driver?
Yeah, I did see that.
It does nice. The gold face is nice.
Yeah. I like the blacked out one a little bit more.
Oh yeah, the Vault one. Yeah. The Vault.
Nice. Chris is asking, Ventus Black 6X versus AV Raw White 65X. What do we think? What do we like? What are the differences?
I'm gonna go Ventus Black 6X is greatly stiffer than Tensi AV Raw White 65X.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Could not agree more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean it is, isn't it? I mean it's definitely depending on what you need it to do, Chris, obviously, but yeah, it's a very, very different bend profile from a stiffness perspective. I mean, the guys at Fuji will tell you that the Ventus Black is the stiffest that they've had.
Someone asked RB, what driver can you see yourself using this year?
I've got a TSI 3 and I don't, unless we
No plans to change it.
No, unless we go through some type of fitting in the near future, I don't really plan on changing it. I like it. I like the way it feels, I like the way it looks. I mean, I hit the TSI 4 the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, I like this thing, but I know it's not. Of course, I go to like the small, unforgiving one. But yeah, I don't really plan on changing it. I mean, it is working, so it's going to stay in the bag.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
I think I can just use, no, I don't know. I need to hit some drivers. I like that stealth, but that Cobra is so nice. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Could there be big differences in gear effect between drivers, newer models? Yeah, absolutely. I had a driver the other day that... So pings generally are accepted as having higher levels of MOI than some other models in the industry, various reasons for that. But I had a customer the other day who was hitting it consistently in the toe, and we had put the weight out in the toe, but he actually couldn't get the ball to turn back a little bit because he was deflecting it, not gearing it. And I think that's something that with certain heads, when you look at the bulge and roll on the club, you have to understand when how you're going to influence the gearing to work in your favour. So that's why you need to see a lot of shots and actually start to use the strike to gear the ball into play, nicely, and looking at delivery to see if the delivery is likely to have that strike location on a consistent basis, so you can build the club around that. I think that's a kind of slightly more advanced level of kind of fitting when you start looking at having the gearing work, but you definitely have to, with the amount of adjustability in the new clubs today, you definitely have to factor it in, that's for sure.
So follow up to that, how does driver center of gravity relative to the club face affect your effect?
Relative to,
because I think of like the SLDR, if you had an SLDR like off the toe, it's a quacker because it's so close, but it's also like the way the face is designed. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. That's why when we look at ping, if we use them as the opposite of the SLDR, that's why it's so stable, because it's so deep, so far back there. So you are really stabilizing that club head by bringing that CG low and back. So you kind of. That's why downrange it's a little bit, of a straighter ball flight, because it's harder to kind of create the excessive gearing.
Short answer to this one: who is the best player of you three?
Mike?
The guru.
Thank you.
The Dalai Lama fitting.
Shut up.
That's what you told me your new title is.
What is your handicap? Do you carry a handicap?
It's a +2.
+2? Okay, yeah. You owe me a lot of shots.
But I need to work in my game this year.
Yeah, I think a nice solid 1 handicap for you. I'll get to a 12.
You and I, member champs. All right, let's. We've got a busy day,
more,
so yeah, let's go to 40 minutes. So let's rock out 3 minutes or so.
Russ Savage goes the big hitter, the Llama.
The Llama. Do we have Modus 105 in stock, Michael?
Nope. No.
Do we not have a black? I think we have a set of black 105s. Why?
No, I to be honest with you, I'm going to go right now. Modus 105. No, we do not have in stock.
There we go. Favorite course in the entire Pinehurst region? I'm going to say number 2. That place we played with Victor was amazing. His course.
Something Creek.
Oh no, you weren't there. Farby. That's
Creek. Something Creek.
Forest Creek.
I have the hat.
Forest Creek. Yeah.
Didn't get an invite.
36 hole. It was 36 hole facility. Big Foz course. Hills were property was huge and immense. Really cool. Greens were fast and
amazing.
Yeah, very cool.
I'd love to play it at this time of year. Where it's kind of we got it a little bit wet that day, didn't we?
With some allergy medication.
Oh man. I was in rough shape that day.
I like number 8. I like number 8.
Big night. Big night.
Pinehurst number 8 was so much fun. Like I just remember
number 8.
I just liked it because I can play a long golf course. That's not a problem. But like playing a short golf course where you don't really have to hit a lot of drivers, or you can play persimmon like a hipster. But just like it's almost like it literally is like kind of like a little mini number 2. Greens are really fast. It's kind of fun. Think your way around the golf course.
What was that one we played, number 5? Was that the one that's like
4?
What was the one we played that we did the first day?
That was 8.
When we got there. No, number 8 was the one we played
in the afternoon, wasn't it?
No, that was 5. Yeah,
Oh.
8 was the one with the blue and yellow tees, or the stripy tee. That was 8.
Oh, okay.
That started with the downhill par 4 and then the really tight par 5 second.
Okay, yeah,
That's
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5 is you're right. That was a ton of fun. That one, not long by any means. You could play with the old.
Yeah.
The old,
You can rent Hickory, I
sticks.
think, for like $50.
Yeah.
Which would be a lot of fun. I'd do that next time.
Yeah, as like Michael said, I've never played. Did you play Pine Needles or Mid Pines when you were out there? No. I'd love to get down there and.
Those two are really good.
Yeah.
And Tobacco Road's fun.
Yeah,
Some people
never
hate
done
it. Some people love it. I think it's good.
Most people I've heard that as well. That it's kind of love hate, but most
be
people I
gimmicky,
spoke
but-
to are say they love it.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
All right, couple more questions, and then guys, we're going to crack on. See one? We're a bit young for this one, to be honest, and I think you and I are going to have the same answer. Who are your childhood golfing heroes? I mean, Tiger,
Tom.
obviously. Oh, Tom.
See your neighbor.
Who's obviously the Tiger? RB, who's yours? Curious who yours was.
I like Tiger Woods. Like I literally picked up golf the year after he won the Masters. Growing up, maybe it's because I was like, I always really liked Luke Donald's game because he wasn't long, and I was never like a long player. Right. So I was like, not that I could, but if I could model my game around Luke Donald's game, like try and hit, not to hit lots of fairways, but just like try and hit greens and have a good short game. I always liked his swing too, so that was someone who I always liked. But I mean, as a kid in Canada, like watching Mike Weir win the Masters was like ridiculous. Like it was, I can imagine like what it would have felt like in Japan with Hideki, like what that kind of does down the line for like golfers. And I know like I watched it with my dad. I remember like where I was watching that to know like to remember that happening and like seeing that is like kind of cool to know that like someone from your country, from us here, like won it. So like that was still like I thought very cool.
Very cool stuff. Okay, guys. Short one today. We just get so much on the plate. It's going to be a good week. A load of videos in the hopper, like we said. We filmed the Tiger Woods wedge video. That was pretty cool.
We got Cynthia. The video tomorrow will be Cynthia, who's been on the channel before,
awesome.
Going through her like 3-wood, 5-wood. So the club that's after her driver. Driver fit was a lot of fun. We did a little while ago. There was the Autoflex showed up, and we wanted to test 3-woods because we've seen in the past gain a lot of distance with the driver, need a big gap to fill, and that's what we did with that video. So that's the next one up. And we got a lot of cool ones. You touched on compression.
Yep.
Tiger Woods wedges. A lot of fun stuff going on. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, no, we've got a bunch of good stuff coming up in the next little while, guys, and obviously the season is coming. Next week we have a couple of special guests in the studio, so we'll tease those through the week. We'll maybe do some Instagram teasers. So guys, follow us on Instagram for that. It's where you'll see it. But yeah, next week's going to be a ton of fun, and it's Masters Monday.
So good.
I almost wore my Masters hat today.
It's getting there.
I was gonna fake a COVID test that I got it, so I can't come to work for the week of the Masters. No, it's worth it.
Okay, guys, have a great week. We will see you next Monday on the live.